everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Nina Infinity, and thank you for joining me for Infinite Hope, episode 21. Getting going here on 21st episode. Got lots of stuff for you today. It's been a crazy week. A lot of stuff happened this week. The impeachment trials going on. Gina Carano got fired, but then rehired again. All sorts of crazy stuff from entertainment to politics, whatever. Most of the stuff, it's bad, but you know what? This is where we balance everything out. Infinite Hope, that's what I do here. Thank you for joining me. Let's say hi to you guys in the chat. We got Darren in the house. Darren, hello. Good to see you. I'm so happy that you're here. Zero Rewind, what's up, man? Thank you for being here and joining me today. We got Shane G in the house. Thank you for being here. I have lots of stuff for you guys tonight, so hang in there, and we'll get to all of it. And let's start with some science news because I love science. And I'm not going to read this whole article because there's a lot to say in this article, but I'll just give you the gist. I can share a screen. These things are, I'm capable of this. Okay, hold on, let me see. Okay, I love science. Okay, here we go. So from Physics Today, South Africa develops Transient Tracking Intelligence Observatory. So this is really cool. Astronomers in the country are adapting algorithms and upgrading equipment to enable a network of optical telescope to autonomously choose and observe targets. So that's helpful, especially a meteor or something is, heading our way. That's always good. Lots of cool pictures on this. And of course, as always, the link is in the description down below, so you guys can go read it for yourself and check it out. So these are some of the observatories. Now, these observatories existed. They're just being updated. And it's really cool stuff here. I saw this earlier in the week, and I was super impressed. This is a picture of the SKA Mikrat Saro Radio Telescope, South Africa, 90 kilometers outside from the small and northern Cape Town of Carnarvon, South Africa. So that's cool. These are the antennas they're using. Look at that. That's crazy. Can you imagine like walking through this field? And then there's all these satellites pointing in the sky. These are their antennas. These are the arrays. Very cool. Satellites. And so basically the scientists say we are providing resources and direct funding primarily to ensure gainful employment for all of our engineers and to assist optical astronomy discipline, says William, head of the engineering at the South African Radio Astronomy Observatory. On this software side, SAAO is building on the expertise of a collaborator, Las Cumbres Observatory. And so these are their astronomical places, more pictures, really cool stuff. What they're attempting to do is tremendous, LCO project scientist Rachel Street says, of SAO's aspirations. The Intelligent Observatory will use an adapted version of LCO's Target and Observation Manager software, which, among other things, allows astronomers to easily interact with and display their observation data. SAAO wants to say, tell us what we need to observe for you, and we will send you reduced data, says Street. They will deliver that observation across multiple instruments and wavelengths. It cuts down the path to science. And that's great. So yeah, this happened. Progress, people. Progress. That's awesome. Love that. Hey, Clay, good to see you. We got Kai in the house. Hello, Kai. Good to see you. Everybody, please smash that like, share the stream. Let's get more people in here to share in the positivity. Zero Rewind says, you can tell this is made by dedicated people who love their craft. Absolutely. I mean, that's what matters, right? Like people who want to do, they're passionate about something and they go for it. And that's always good to see. Hey, Delson, thank you for being here. I'm so happy to see you. I'm really glad that you're here. Hello, Night's End. Hello, thank you for being here. Megaback is here. Says, I love Infinite Hope Friday. The hard work you put into your video is greatly appreciated. Well, I appreciate you and thank you for being here, showing up. Please smash that like, share the stream. Let's get more people in here because you know what? A lot of crazy stuff is going on in the world and people are down. People are down. And you know what? We got to lift everybody up once in a while. Doing fine, getting off work in 10 minutes. Well, that's great. I'm glad. I hope you enjoy your Friday and the weekend. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. All right. So let's see. I'll close that tab. I have like a million tabs open. So this happened in the news, or this was everywhere this week. And I mean, of course I had to share this because come on, this is the funniest thing. I'm sure you've seen it by now, but if you haven't, I'm not a cat. Lawyer tells judge when he can't change the Zoom filter. That was funny. I think I've watched that video like 15 times. So virtual courtrooms, of course, have their drawbacks, but who could know one of them would see a serious lawyer explaining to a judge, I'm not a cat. When Rod Penton was unable to turn off a cute kitty Zoom filter in a Texas court hearing, it's safe to say he got into a bit of a flap. He promised the judge his legal assistant was working to rectify the issue, which with his fluffy kitten's eyes growing even wider, more confused, and more expressive, Penton then felt the need to let the judge, Roy Ferguson, know he wasn't actually a feline. Ferguson replied kindly, I can see that. So the videos here, I just like what it says here in the end that Ponton is in on the laughs. He doesn't seem to mind the attention at all, telling the New York Times, if I can make the country chuckle for a moment in these difficult times they're going through, I'm happy to let them do that at my expense. Well, what a nice guy. And here's the video.
Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to take a look.
Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can see that.
Even this guy who was like trying not to react the whole time is like, oh my God, that is funny. Like, look at his face when he says that. That is just so funny. Like he's like pretty down. He's just like, okay, I'm just gonna ignore this. And then he says,
I can see that.
I'm not a cat.
I think if you
this guy's reaction is just so funny.
To
oh my God. Oh, the internet. And some of the things that happen on it are just priceless. Yeah, the dude laughs. It's so funny. Oh my goodness. Just so good. Just so good. Hey, Zakra. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, everybody, please smash that like, share the stream. Let's get more people here to share with the laughs because this is funny. I got more stuff. Okay, so that was great. That happened. Let's get to some weird archaeology news. Well, not really archaeology, actually. It's more like happenstance that is still cool. This is not archaeology. Forgive me. I misspoke. Okay. A lawyer cracked a hidden room in his office and found a cache of historic photography, including a framed portrait of Susan B. Anthony. I think Kai sent me this one. Thank you, Kai. The James Halley photo is valued at $10,000 to $50,000. I mean, this guy, he must be really happy. This is cool. A lawyer looking for a new office stumbled upon a trove of historic photographs when he discovered a secret attic in the 3-story building he bought last December in Geneva, New York. Among the finds in the hidden trove was a rare portrait of suffragist Susan B. Anthony. That's so cool because there's so much stuff going on in New York. A couple of months for one of the earlier episodes of Infinite Hope, I also covered a bunch of guys that found like bootleg booze in the bottom of their house in New York. And New York's such an old place. Stuff like this happens. David J. Whitcomb, 43, was changing a light bulb on the building's 3rd floor when he realized the ceiling looked strange. That was because it was a drop ceiling installed decades ago to cover the space into an apartment unit. Whitcomb spotted an access panel, climbed up on a stack of chairs, and peered inside with a flashlight. The first thing I saw was a whole bunch of picture frames stacked together, and these frames are gorgeous. To the turn of the century, they're gold, gilded, and they shone really bright. And I was like, oh my God, he told CNN. I lowered myself and said, I think we just found the Goonies treasure. The building's 2 previous owners knew nothing of the hidden space, meaning it had been boarded up sometime before the 1960s. Wow, look at all the stuff he found. This is all the other crafts that he found in the secret attic. What a crazy story, right? I mean, this is so cool. There's the picture of Susan B. Anthony. That's nuts. I love this story. So cool. So very cool. Yeah, secret attic. It's like something out of a movie. I love it. Imagine people living an entire lifetime in that place not noticing this. I know, right? It's just like, it's so weird because you have to be like, you should be aware of your surroundings and stuff, like to know, what's going on. But this is just something out of a movie. Hello, Ron. Thank you for being here. Really happy to see you. Yeah, I know. I had a chuckle about that too. Because everybody was kind of down in the community, like the Phantom Menace and everyone. Like, it was a crazy thing, and I'm glad that she bounced right back up. I mean, she's a powerful woman, and you can't keep powerful women down for long. They're just gonna bounce back. The other interesting thing about it too is that the night that it happened. Speaking of our community, there was a stream going on with Drunk 3PO Drunk 3PO on his channel where he was raising money for stopping child trafficking. And they raised, well, I was in the stream, so I guess we raised over $40,000. Everyone who contributed, everyone who was there contributed to this cause. Whether you shared, whether you donated, everybody was involved, and it was a beautiful thing to see. And when it happened, it kind of like was like the air was let out of the room. So this is an awesome bounce back. I'm glad that she was able to just get right back at it, and I had no doubt she would, because she's awesome. So now moving on to the next story, which is really cool also. Another treasure story. This is awesome because this is something like another thing out of a movie. You're like, oh my God, like, I can't believe this happened. Amateur treasure hunter finds solid gold centerpiece of King Henry VIII's long lost crown in a field near Harborough. And this is the guy. He was walking around with this magnet finding thing in this farm, and he found this piece, the stunning solid gold center. Let me just zoom in here. The stunning gold centerpiece of King Henry VIII's long-lost crown has been found in a field on the edge of Market Harborough by an amateur treasure hunter. Kev Duckett, 49, made his staggering 1 in a million find under a tree at the back of the Market Harborough Golf Club near the deserted medieval village of Little Oxenden. The priceless 24-karat gold enameled figurine showing King Henry the Sixth as a saint is now with the British Museum in London, and his future is hammered out. So this is the figure. This is what he found. How cool is that? Thrilled, Kev of Falkney told Harborough Mail, "I can still hardly believe that I have found this magnificent royal piece in humble farmer's field near Market Harborough. This beautiful figurine of Henry VI used to be an integral part of the crown worn by Henry VIII, one of our most iconic kings, as well as so many other monarchs. The very thought that Henry VIII used to wear this figure in his crown on his head over 500 years ago when he was the most powerful man in the land is just mind-blowing." Can you imagine being this guy and finding this? That is so cool. A dedicated treasure hunter for 30 years, Kev pulled off his once-in-a-lifetime royal discovery over 3 years ago in September 2017. It was a new permission, and it was the first time I'd been up there. Being a new location, I was on my own as I wanted to go along and do a test run. I hadn't been working away for long when my metal detector started to emit a very loud signal and buzz like mad, said Kev, who restores classic cars. Another really cool job. It was buried in a hole just a few inches down under the surface. I brushed off the soil and I knew straight away that it was a Tudor piece. And of course, it was gold, pure 24-karat gold. I got such an immediate adrenaline rush. It really was an oh my God moment. Can you imagine? I would be flipping out. I was totally stunned. I realized instantly that this was something very special indeed. I knew it was very old, but I had no idea what it was. Kev took the exquisite and unique 1.4-inch high figure home and immediately launched a fascinating, amazing, complex voyage of discovery. I started trawling through the royal inventories to try and to establish which king it was. Over the course of more than 3 years, I must have sent hundreds and hundreds of emails to academics, historians, researchers, and experts all over the country trying to get to the bottom of this, said the addicted treasure seeker. Day in and day out, I worked away at it. I began researching Henry VI and realized it was made during Henry VIII's period in the first half of the 16th century. I found out that he had 3 jewels specially made to be added to the state crown because of the Reformation as he split from the Catholic Church. Henry wanted everyone to know that he was the more powerful than the coronation crown was originally decorated with 3 figures of Christ, one of St. George and one of the Virgin and the Child. But Henry VIII promptly removed the figures of Christ and replaced them with 3 saint kings of England, St. Edmund, Edward the Confessor, and Henry VI. The legendary king wore the crown at his 1509 coronation when he married Anne of Cleves, the 4th of his 6 wives in 1540. It took innumerable over 2 years to finally nail the epic mystery of his invaluable history-making royal treasure. I went down to Hampton Court Palace in London on January 15, 2020, because they have a brilliant replica of the entire crown. It blew my mind as I gazed at it, and it sank in that the figurine I'd dug up in countryside near Market Harborough had helped to adorn Henry VIII's beloved crown. He recalled, I had already handed the piece over to the British Museum within weeks of finding it, but now I'd finally pieced its sensational story together. It's taken such a huge amount of detective work. I felt like Sherlock Holmes at times. That's really cool. Like, I mean, this guy's so dedicated. Kev believes that the totemic piece of royal history ended up within a mile or two of Market Harborough after the pivotal Battle of Naseby during the English Civil War in June 1645. Charles could have lost his crown as he fled after being defeated by Oliver Cromwell's forces. The royal baggage train was also looted, so it might have been plundered, he said. No one knows for certain what happened, so we can only speculate. I'm now waiting to hear further from the British Museum as to what happens next. These treasure troves finds can and often do take several years to sort out. This is a fantastic story and a worldwide one, said Kev. This goes well beyond the UK. The Americans would love it, and I'm sure I'm sure they do, as I did, because I mean everybody's fascinated with the royalty and crown. I mean most people are anyway. I know the Americans are very fascinated with the royal family. The article further states like what happens next and basically like hammering down what happens to this piece and who gets paid and everything like that. But I thought that was a really cool story. This guy, I mean, he spent his entire life, basically like 30 years, treasure hunting. And, it just goes to show, don't ever give up on what your passion is and just keep doing it because of this, because one day you could just hit the jackpot, like quite literally. So that was a really cool story, and I really enjoyed that. Mega Max says, wow, that's amazing. I feel like Indiana Jones if I discovered loose change between the couch cushions. I know, me too. It's like so crazy. Hey, Justin, good to see you. Thank you for being here, man. It says, imagine if a 5-year-old was just digging around and found it. Well, it happens. I mean, last week we talked about a 4-year-old that found a 250 million year old dinosaur footprint in the UK. So, I mean, that kind of stuff happens all the time. I cover those kind of stories here. So you're in the right place if you want to hear cool things. 6 wives. Henry VIII was quite a man. He was very interesting. Overthrew the Catholic Church. Beheaded one of his wives. He's just, I mean, one of those guys like that goes down in history and like the craziest dude. Quite a hedonistic guy too. But yeah, I mean, that's history for you. That's the one I was talking about just now. Yep. It was really cool. You should check out the highlights for last week's episode, Justin, and you'll see it. YetiCast, hello. Thank you for being here. YetiCast has got a really cool YouTube channel. Everybody check it out. So does Kai and Justin Popper. YetiCast does movie reviews, very interesting movie reviews. That was a cool story. Let's see here. The next story is from my old stomping grounds, British Columbia. That is where I used to live. Not quite in this area that these guys are at, but British Columbia is a really big place. Canada is a giant country. But this was a cool story. Man saves elk after it was buried by an avalanche with only a nostril and one eye peeking out of the snow. So controlled avalanches are generally set off in order to prevent larger ones from happening, but that doesn't mean they're not without danger. Jesse Dahlberg was watching as railroad crews using explosives set off a series of small avalanches near the town of Field in southeastern British Columbia when he noticed a lone elk directly in the path of the next man-made snow tsunami. Although he hoped the elk might be able to outrun the oncoming peril, the animal was engulfed in a wave of white as the avalanche coursed around it on its way down the mountainside. I didn't know how big the avalanche was going to be, so I was hoping for the best. When I saw it, I thought there's no way that elk is going to survive, Dahlberg told CBC News. That's that wall of snow caught up to the elk so fast and just blasted it. And there's a video of his reaction to that. It's funny. He curses a lot. Enlisting the aid of a friend, Dahlberg decided to drive over to see if there was any chance the elk might have survived. After parking at a spot close to where the elk was felled, they followed a trail of debris uphill. Miraculously, Dahlberg saw a portion of the animal's face peering out from the snowy prison. The elk was also totally immobilized by the weight of the snow in which it was buried. Once Dahlberg realized the elk was alive, he knew they'd have to act quickly to extricate it. He could only hope that none of his limbs had been fractured by the impact of the avalanche. Dahlberg began digging with his hands, sending his friend back to their vehicle for a shovel. So there he is, digging the poor animal out. Working steadily, it took them 15 minutes to dig the elk's hind legs free. Then, with a little prompting, the helpless critter was able to shake its way clear and walk out from the snowdrift. I put my arms up and started cheering because I was so excited that it was alive. Dahlberg said, I was so happy. And there's the little guy just standing there. Rather than flight, the forest denizen stood by, calmly gazing at his rescuers as they left the scene, as if saying a silent thank you. To which Dahlberg might have rightly replied, "You're welcome." And here's the video of them watching the avalanche come down. Again, be warned, there's a lot of swearing.
There's an elk right underneath Pilsner Pillar, and it's gonna get killed in a few seconds. Holy fuck, poor elk! Oh god! It's fucking dead! Oh shit!
There's an elk right at the bottom of the mountain there.
Oh shit, is it gonna run? Holy fuck, there it goes!
Oh.
Fuck, it just got spooked! Holy fuck! Oh yeah, that was so poor elk. Poor elk. Oh my god. Oh.
I'm glad they started.
Rest in peace, buddy.
I'm glad they decided to go and check and see if it's dead or not. And this turned out to be a good story in the end because he was alive. But poor little guy. That was funny. Yeah, they're so Canadian. It's true. It's true. Hey, Toxic Man Flu. Thank you for being here. I know, poor elk. So crazy. Eclay says that story was snow good. Hello, Gustavo. Hello. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Everybody, please smash that like and share the stream. Let more people know we're talking good news over here. Darren says, nice job. Search and rescue in the foothills of the Rockies. Yeah, exactly. My old stomping grounds. Man, I love the Rockies. I miss the Rockies sometimes. It's so beautiful. Just like flying over the Rockies is one of the most majestic thing you could ever do. It's like, it just really makes you feel like, you're just this little person on this little planet. And it's so magnificent. The earth is so magnificent. Okay, so let me get this one out of the way here. Okay, so this is another, this one was interesting to me. This is another animal news, but it's about wombats. I didn't know how cool wombats were. I was like, what? So wombat waterhole proving popular in drought-ravaged Hunter Valley. What do you like? They're so cute. They're so cute. What do you look at his little face? Says wombats on New South Wales Hunter Valley. Let me. Farm are being hailed as heroes for burrowing down to an underground soak and supplying water to an array of native fauna hit hard by drought. Beef farmer Ted Finney's property sits 30 kilometers southwest of Merriwa, and an area of the valley that has had almost no rain for the past 3 years. He said the hole has been there for a long time, but has recently grown larger as wombats dig deeper during the drought. It's best described as being a crater, he said, being about 20 meters in diameter, with the rim of the crater going down maybe 4 meters into the ground. And as the crater has dried out due to the drought, the wombats have burrowed to get closer to the water, so they've gone underground a little bit. And this is like a picture of some kangaroos visiting that crater. We got all sorts of animals. Mr. Finney said the wombat soak was often used by wombats, kangaroos, wallabies, and wallaroos, but it was now vital to many more animals during the drought. He said a camera trap recently set up by the Hunter Region Land Care Network showed new species, including birds, goannas, possums, echidnas, and even emus drinking from the soak. Mr. Finney, who is a retired Wharonga Zoo veterinarian, said the animals had the hero wombats to thank. Look at all these animals going to this crater that the wombats have built. They're the ones keeping the hole open and accessible, he said. I think it's really quite surprising how intelligent wombats are in the matter of survival. They are great survivors, especially given the fact that they are able to source this water supply fairly deep down. Like water diviners, Western Sydney University biologist Julie Old has visited the wombat soak in the past and said the site was unique. The associate professor said she was not aware of other recorded instances of wombats digging for water, but it was clearly what was happening on Mr. Finney's property. Look, there's this big giant lizard dude going to guanas. This guana is going to the watering hole. It's almost like wombats are water diviners. They're finding the water and digging the holes to get to the water, and the other animals are taking advantage of it. We often call wombats ecological engineers because they're digging burrows and they make habitat for other animals. In this case, the wombat wallow on Ted's place is being created by this ecological engineer, the wombat. Oh, they're like going to drink the water. Dr. Old said the hole could have been dug intentionally for water, and it was unlikely to have begun as burrow that accidentally struck water. They tend to build burrows on the sides of creeks and near tree roots to help hold the burrow together, she said. So where this spot is, not near a creek, would have been very unusual for a wombat to dig a burrow. We don't know why it started, but it's become quite deep. And so that's the story. There's a little bird drinking from it. Little birds. Everybody's coming there. It's like these wombats are freaking saving the animal lives. So cute. So cute. I love animals. So yeah, that was cool, right? No. You've never eaten one, have you? No way. That's weird. Hello, Gustavo. I think I said hi to you already. Yeah, I mean, come on. At least they do something with their lives. Wombats are cooler than kangaroos. Oh, thank God. Thank God. Thank God, Ron. Thank God. Oh my God. I take everything seriously. I really need to, not take people seriously on the internet. Darren says wombats, land beavers down under. That's funny. Yeah. Okay. So moving on to this other cool story. This is a human story, moving on from some animal news, which we'll come back to. There's more animal news, but this one's a human news. Do I have audio for this? Who cares? Let's just share it. Chicago man goes around buying all of the vendors' tamales in frigid temperatures and gives them to homeless. Good for you. As anyone who's ever spent any time there can tell you, Chicago is called the Windy City with good reason. In winter, when there's sniff breeze blowing off Lake Michigan, pedestrians often feel more like popsicles than people, making getting out of the bitter cold priority. But when your job is strictly outdoors, staying warm and toasty isn't an option unless someone comes to your rescue, that is. Chicago restaurateur Robert Maggiett was driving across town one morning when he spotted a shivering tamale vendor braving the frigid January temperatures. On the spur of the moment, he decided to make her an offer she couldn't refuse. Rather than let the woman who was wearing so many layers of clothing, she looked a bit like a tamale herself, turn into a tamale popsicle. Maggiett bought out her entire day's supply, close to 10 dozen tamales, gave her a big tip, and sent her on her way. After she'd gratefully gone home, Maggiett loaded up the copious quantities of tamales he purchased and distributed them to some of Chicagoland's homeless population. Pleased with the outcome, the morning events, I'm sorry, I'm not pronouncing this name wrong. Maggiett took to Facebook to see if he could continue the trend. Anyone know of any tamale cart vendors that will be out this weekend in the cold weather? He posted. I went to Yolanda near Humboldt Park and bought her out so she could go home today. I'd love to do the same for other vendors and distribute the tamales to our neighbors experiencing homelessness. Let me know if of any leads, please. In the following days, armies of suggestions. Maggiett bought up all the tamales from the vendors at 3 different locations, and again, after generously tipping the sellers whose trade had been severely curtailed by both the weather and the lockdown, he shared their wares with people in need. Helping the hungry in his community is nothing new for Maggiett. Having seen firsthand the devastating impact of the COVID pandemic had on his own industry, he feels lucky to be in the position to provide such need relief for those struggling to put food on the table. After opening a Love Fridge community food pantry outside his Taqueria Cocina restaurant this past June, Maggiett teamed up with the owners Fatso's Last Stand, that's a great name, and Jack and Ginger's restaurants to prep and deliver 1,300 Thanksgiving meals for the needy. But Maggiett wasn't through. After Christmas, he partnered with Jason Vincent, owner of Logan Square Eatery Giant, to provision and man a food truck serving breakfast and lunch to the homeless. Next, he reached out to his friend Taylor Hammond, owner of the Stop Along, a Bucktown pizzeria, to ask if he'd be willing to donate his kitchen once a week to help ease food insecurities for families in need. Knowing how much kids love pizza, Hammond readily agreed. It's like, I have a restaurant, I have food, I know people who have restaurants and food. Let's help people who need food, Maggiett told Chicago Tribune. He plans to continue his tamale runs for the remainder of the winter. Pizzas are still on the table as well. If somebody in our neighborhood is struggling, we all struggle, Maggiett said. I'm not trying to save the world. I'm just trying to help people who need food. If I have the ability to help somebody, I'm just going to help somebody. To me, it's literally that simple. And you know what? Sometimes it really is that simple. And the food that he collects will be distributed to several Love Fridge locations around town, Breakthrough Urban Ministries in East Garfield Park, and Franciscan Outreach Homeless Shelter in North Landwell. If you'd like to help, donations can be made to Zelle at this number, and that go and check him out on here on Venmo. So yeah, that's the information here. So if you guys are in Chicago, yeah, you can be part of this. This is a really cool guy, and I commend this. I commend this humanistic effort. Excellent, excellent stuff. I always have to help people if you can. Glad you got home. You missed a couple of things, but you can always rewind and watch or wait for my highlights. I will be sharing that later this week. We watched an elk get rescued. It was cool. Yeah. Dealing with homeless vets. This guy did a great thing. Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, helping people is so nice. I mean, it's just something we all have to do. It's part of our duty as human beings to help people. All right, so moving on to the next story. Okay, this one was way cool. I mean, leave it up to the Japanese to create something like this. I love this. So giant xylophone in Japanese forest uses gravity to play the most ethereal Bach music. You're walking through a Japanese forest on a southern island of Kyushu. Among the trees, you hear the sounds of a bird song. A gentle breeze rustles the leaves. A melody you've heard before rings faintly through the air. What is that? Bach. The magical experience is real thanks to creative director Morihiro Harano and his team at Mori Inc. In collaboration with carpenter Mitsuo Tsuda and sound engineer Kenjiro Matsuo, they made and placed enormous xylophone that's designed to play Jesu Joy of Man's Desiring, the final movement of Bach's renowned Canta Herz und Mund und Tat und Leben. The xylophone is made of hundreds of pieces of different sized wood. Each panel along its length makes a different sound when it's struck by a cascading wooden ball placed at the top of the instrument. And this is how this is done. Look how much effort these guys put into this. I love this so much. I thought this was amazing. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that human creativity is capable of. And why not do something like this if you have the capability to? Just why not? It's just, I love the fact that gravity held the ball into place as it went down the xylophone. Like that it wouldn't fall off. The way that they had built it was perfectly placed so that it just, it went down and it wouldn't like fall off the edges. Just so creative, so beautiful. I love that. I love that. I wonder how long it took to build it. The article doesn't say, but I'm sure a while. I'm sure a while. Yeah, it was so heartwarming too. I love this kind of stuff. Hey, Bone, good to see you. Darren says this taking dominoes to a whole different level, and that's true. That's very true. Now, speaking of music, I found this out, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so cool!" Mind you, this dude's been doing this for a while, but I just found out about it as Kai sent me this article, and we're going to share this. Concert pianist plays classical music for rescue elephants in Thailand. This is cool, like on so many levels. And we're gonna play some music videos with that too. We won't watch all of it, but it was cool. They say music is a universal language, and it turns out that's even true for animals. At least it seems so, according to the experience of Paul Barton, an artist and concert pianist who has been playing the piano to rescue elephants in Thailand since 2011. He performed a variety of classical composition for animals who stand by attentively listening, seemingly spellbound by pieces from composers such as Beethoven, Schumann, and Grieg. His most recent spectator and Mongol, an aging bull elephant that was rescued from a life of captivity, hauling trees for a logging company. Occasionally, Mongol, when strolling along the river, would stop by the piano. Barton explains of his interactions with the gentle creature. If we notice him waiting, I would go over and play him a few slow classical pieces. Over the years, Barton has played for quite a few of the friendly giants and formed a deep connection with many of them. That's beautiful. If you play classical music to an elephant, the reaction is priceless, the pianist says. There is a special bond between you and the elephant. You are communicating with them in a different language. That language is neither ours nor theirs. There is something infinitesimally wonderful in a piece of Beethoven that connects me to that elephant, and that feeling is otherworldly. I bet. I mean, that is so beautiful. Most of the elephants that Barton plays for are rescued from the logging industry, which was banned in Thailand in 1989. Many of them had ended up blind or sustained other injuries as a result of their grueling employment. Now they reside at Elephant's World, a sanctuary on the river Kwai in Kanchanaburi, Thailand, where they are cared for and can live peacefully. And this is, so he's got a YouTube channel, and I went there, I subscribed, of course. I highly suggest that you go and do the same. This guy was really cool. So this is one of the videos that we'll play here. Ooh. We'll play here, and then I'll show you another one from his channel that I thought was so adorable. But this is how they brought the piano, and I thought that was really cool. Oh, I can't make it full screen here. Okay, we'll go to YouTube and share from YouTube. Let me share screen. So this is how they brought the piano over. And I'll fast forward a little bit so you guys can get the idea. How sweet is this? How serene and peaceful. I was mesmerized by this last night. I was like, I couldn't stop watching this. Yeah, like, he loves it. You can tell. So beautiful. Now, I saw this other one from his channel that was really cool also. This is another elephant, and it was like all restless. Like, it comes up and he's like, play me something. And then he does, and he chills out. It's really funny. Look how restless he is. He's like, let's go, man. I want to hear some music. Let's do this. Come on. I want to hear something. Look at him. And then he chills out like immediately. Like he's like, oh, okay, yay. And then chills. He just lies there. How cool is this dude, right? Like he's like the elephant whisperer. How sweet he is. He's just chilling. I went to this guy's channel last night and I just couldn't stop watching these animal videos, like these elephant videos. There's something really surreal about it. It's beautiful. Look at him, he's smiling. Look how happy he is. He's like smiling. Isn't that so sweet? So yeah, guys, that's it. I mean, I highly suggest that everybody go to this dude's channel and check out his channel. The link is in the description for this article. You can head there through the YouTube thing. I definitely subscribed. It was, I mean, this is like, I mean, the dude has a lot of subscribers, but I've never seen it before, and it was really cool. It was really, really awesome. Yeah, the ears are flopping. He was so happy. I love music. Music is like the ultimate language, like, you know, the universal language, like he was saying. Yeah, so cute. Oh my God, yeah, people are laughing. This is great. It is. Belson says PTSD in animals is real sad. Sadly, the elephants are so empathetic and intelligent. This is beautiful. I agree. They're so smart and beautiful, and just like it breaks my heart how much abuse they've received from us. But like people make differences. Like I'm glad they found their way to the sanctuaries and everything like that. And it's just so beautiful. Like I couldn't. Like, I can't believe this guy just went there and started playing music for animals. Like, that is just so beautiful. He has a beautiful heart. Bone, I know. It's like, yay, elephants. Hey, Stomp Rat. I know. Wasn't it so great? I loved it. I loved it. So, yeah, definitely, guys, check out his channel. He's an amazing human being. And he's a concert pianist. He's got lots of other stuff on his channel, too. Piano pieces and stuff like that. Okay, so like our next story, that was so cool. Our next story here is a short little story, only like 55 minutes or 55 seconds long. And it just highlights something that went down in Cincinnati called the Cincinnati Tip War. So this is it.
Yeah, let's turn the beat around here. Okay, we all know restaurant workers have been struggling a lot this year, but diners in Cincinnati are giving servers there a big boost, and they're starting a tip war between alumni and fans of two local universities. So it all started about a month ago when a Xavier University alum left his server, a fellow alum, a $1,000 tip on a $54 bill. So he asked the server to share that with coworkers. Well, the news spread on social media. So two University of Cincinnati fans decided to one-up the Xavier tip, leaving a $1,001 tip on another restaurant, writing, "Let's see how long we can keep this going." Well, guess what? That tipping war still going a month later. So far, raised $34,000 for Cincinnati restaurant workers. That story came from our very own Katie Ryan, who happens to be a Xavier alum. So good for them.
Yeah, good for them. That's awesome. That is so awesome. I'm really happy that they did that. All the restaurants need all the help they can get, and the people who work in restaurants. Yes, Stomp Rat, those elephants will never forget. They won't, and I'm sure they're very appreciative. Belson says, that's why I love Tolkien. The music of the Ainur was the beginning of all. Yeah, I love Tolkien too. I love Tolkien. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Kai says, LOL, 1001 was that Jane Theory? Yeah, because Jane Theory one-upped Star Wars Theory on that charity stream I told you guys about. Star Wars Theory tipped $1,000 and Jane Theory did a 1001. And then people kept it going. It was great. It was great. So great. That is so positive, but also strange. Yeah, you never know. Like, what can fire, set something off. A tipping war. That's the only kind of good war, right? A tipping war. See how much money you can give to people in need. That's amazing. Let's see here. Okay, this one is a cool story too. Cavatinho Shea. Jane Theory is a bala. Yeah, she's pretty cool. But this is also what I talk about, how hope is something that's it can spread like wildfire. That's why it's so important to balance out the negative stories with positive stories. That's why this show is so important to me, because you never know what could come from hearing stuff like this. It could change your whole outlook, change your whole week, change your day. And that's what it's all about. Dimajanai, my friend, thank you for being here. It says, that's great. My best friend's a waitress. She had a situation the beginning of last year. Everyone's been struggling. So I really appreciate stuff like this. Okay, so the next story here is also really cool. Human connection story. You guys know how much that is important to me. Says, After winning a car, Chick-fil-A employee gives it to coworker in act of kindness. Many people form close friendships with their coworkers, but one Chick-fil-A employee had such a tight bond with her coworker that she gave her a car. Haley Bridges, 17, of Appleton, Wisconsin, knew her friend and Chick-fil-A employee Hokule's Taniguchi, 19, was commuting to work in Wisconsin winter by bicycle. Man, that is so harsh. I used to, when I didn't have a car, I used to bike everywhere in Canada, and that was harsh. So I feel this girl. So when she learned she had won a car at a company Christmas party raffle in December, she knew exactly who she wanted to gift it to. I started working at Chick-fil-A in late last August, Bridges told Today Food, explaining that a friend who goes to her school referred her to the job. I love working here. Not only are the people that work here amazing, but it has taught me so many new things. I always look forward to going to work. I get to see my second family. She said that her coworkers helped one another, even with matters not related to the job. She and Taniguchi, who is from the Kalihi neighborhood of Honolulu, became fast friends in September and hang out outside of work all the time. What we do most of the time is chill at whoever's house we choose, said Bridges. We are very spontaneous, as well as our little close friend group we have. So there they are. That's a little nice friendship they have. But it was at a Chick-fil-A Christmas party when their friendship went to the next level. Bridges said the raffle is the main event of the annual Christmas party, and that there was a rumor that there would be a car as the grand prize. Everyone would get raffle tickets, and how many hours you work determine how many hours you get. I received 5 tickets. The night of the party, the friends arrived at the Grand Meridian, a banquet hall in Appleton, to see that there was in fact a car being raffled off. Bridges said her close friend group has always been willing to help Taniguchi, who they call Hoku, and decided that if any of them won, they would give her the car. The car was the only raffle where we couldn't pull our tickets, 1 ticket per person, Bridges explained. Our friend group and some other friends decided to all put one in for her. Said Bridges. We were all very nervous that someone else would get chosen, but we kept our hopes up. Yay, hope. So there's their group. When Bridges heard her name called as the winner of the car, she said the moment was surreal. Once my name was called by one of the bosses, Hoku and I looked at each other. This is when she started to cry. I've never seen her emotional side much. She's a very happy person and very funny and goofy as well. We looked at each other and I started to cry as well, Bridges recalled. Time seemed to stop as the friends realized what had just happened. My heart felt as if it was racing when we both stood up and ran to each other. Everyone in the room felt like they were gone. It felt as if it was just us two in that moment. We hugged each other so hard and cried so much. Everyone else was either crying or clapping. We all had a big group hug with everyone near us, and it felt so unreal experiencing this. Oh, there they are. What a cute little group. The fact that Bridges had been the one to win the car for her meant everything to Taniguchi. Hoku told me that if anyone else in the group had won it for her, it would be amazing, but not the same. It's crazy knowing that I was able to give my best friend a car. Bridges, who already had a car, had been met with another act of kindness following her generosity. My aunt held a fundraiser to get it completely paid off. She said, I was paying monthly for the car and it took a chunk of my paycheck. And while Bridges said her mom was slightly upset that she gave away such a huge gift. She said she has no regrets about her decision. No one deserves it more than Hoku. Since receiving the car, Taniguchi's life has changed for the better. At the same time she received the car, she got approved to get an apartment, which is located closer to the Chick-fil-A. Bridges said, "It's crazy it's crazy seeing her parked in the parking lot. And I'm glad that she has a reliable ride to work and grocery store as well." Bridges and her friends have gone for many rides together in Taniguchi's new car. Their favorite destination, the Chick-fil-A drive-thru. And that's a sweet story. I'm so happy that they were able to get that car for her and be there for each other. That's what friendship is all about. What a good friendship. Yay, friendship. I know, what a true friend. I love that. I love that. Yes, God bless these guys indeed. They are so wonderful. This is what human connection is all about, and I love it. Okay, so another really cool story. Here's another one. A Navy meteorologist lost his wallet in Antarctica. A Navy meteorologist lost his wallet in Antarctica and got it back 53 years later. Retired Navy meteorologist Paul Grisham had long forgotten the wallet he lost while stationed in Antarctica in 1968. So he was surprised when someone returned it to him 2 weeks ago. 53 years later, there is the contents of the wallet. Isn't that insane? He was also surprised by how young he looked at his old ID card that was tucked inside. It brought back memories. Oh yeah, I had dark brown hair at the time, the 91-year-old said with a laugh. Grisham said somebody found the wallet while demolishing some old buildings at McMurdo Station, including the building where he lived from 1967 to 1968. The worn wallet is time capsule of 13 long months Grisham served in the Antarctic, or the ice as they called it. It held beer ration cards with 21 punches left, his motor vehicle operator's license, and a card with instructions for what to do in the event of a nuclear, chemical, biological attack. So crazy, right? Thank God it was never used, Grisham said, adding that this was at the heart of the Cold War. It also had a handwritten recipe for making homemade Kahlua liquor. That's so cool. Grisham never used that either. He's partial to gin martinis, but a lot of people have asked him for it after hearing his story. Grisham was particularly busy during summer operations in Antarctica, monitoring the weather and proving reports for the airplanes and ships delivering personnel, equipment, and supplies. The entire station worked 12 hours on and 12 hours off the clock for a period of 5 months because there was so much to do to get ready for a long black winter, Grisham said. There was a 2-lane bowling alley, which was almost always in use, along with the small gym because it was too cold safely to exercise outside. I love bowling. I miss bowling. McMurdo Station was in what we called the banana belt. The temperatures got up to about 25 degrees, and I've seen it as cold as minus 65. Ouch. It got even colder as you went further inland. It's almost inconceivable just how cold it is. It's almost impossible to describe to people who haven't been there, he said. In fact, we spent a lot of time trying to figure out how do we explain this to the folks at home, and we just never really came up with a good way to explain it. I've been in Canada. I've experienced about minus 45 degrees with wind chill. So I mean, that's nowhere near, like, that's not near 65. And you couldn't breathe. That's how cold it is. Like, you have trouble breathing when it's like minus 45. I can't even imagine minus 65. Like, my nostrils were like freezing. Like, you could see like ice starting to hang off of it at minus 45. So this is unbelievable. He said it's 50 to 75 degrees colder than the North Pole. And if you need a more tangible example of soda would freeze and burst open in 14 minutes if you left it outside. The one thing that's really made life worth living down there was the people that were there. Grisham said, we wintered 180 men, and they were the most congenial, likable men that I've ever had the pleasure to be around. Oh, human connection. So nice. They played a lot of games during their downtime. Grisham won a lot when they played poker, and the wallet had a number of money order receipts from when he sent his winnings to his wife and young children. He was also good at chess, but said there was one Russian scientist who he just couldn't beat. He said they didn't do much exploring outside the compound because of the extreme cold, but he did get to make the 850-mile trip to the South Pole while he was there. Grisham also got to meet legendary explorer and mountain climber Sir Edmund Hillary, who picked his brain about the weather for about 2 hours before setting out on an expedition. After his tour, he was able to get an assignment in San Diego, California, and Alter was assigned to an aircraft carrier in Vietnam. He retired in 1977 after 25 years of service. Good for you. Grisham moved back to San Diego after marrying Carol Salzar, who he met in Paris in 2001 after his first wife died. They've been married for almost 18 years. That's sweet. They said the family has had as much fun with this discovery as he has. Grandchildren Christina Salzar said she was amazed when she first saw the wallet and thought it looked like he could still use it. The 26-year-old said she's enjoyed his stories about his time in the Navy since she was a girl. Growing up, it was always my favorite to listen to him talk about the emperor penguins that he would encounter, she said. Now she gets to hear about his adventures over one of his famous gin martinis. Anytime he has one nowadays, he claims it brings him back to his days on the ice. She said, it's an honor to share a martini with him and listen to him talk endlessly about his time. She said she learns something new about her grandpa every time he tells a story. He's still our go-to guy with any weather question, Salzar said. Correction, an earlier version of the story misspelled the last name of Paul Grisham. There he is. And there he is. He was promoted lieutenant while serving in Antarctica. That's young version of him, and that's the old version of him. Wow. Father time. Such a sweet story, though. I liked it. Wow. Yeah. That's why I moved to Cancun, because I was like, I can't deal with this cold. Hi, Tim. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate you. Kai says, geez, I'd wrap my whole face. Nobody would have to force me to wear a mask in that cold. Yeah, honestly, when you're in Canada, I constantly would wear like ski masks that would cover my like up to my nose and everything like that. Like in the winter, it gets pretty freaking cold. Like I don't argue with it. And I had scarves and everything like that. It's just that, like, obviously, like, it's actually work though. Cause when you bundle up like that, so like every time you go in to a store or something like that, it's like a blast of hot air hitting you because everyone has their heaters on. So like, and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna die. So like, you have to like take everything off, and you're just like always carrying around like scarves and stuff like that. It's like a whole thing. It's a process. Living in the cold is a process. Whereas in living here, like it's really hot. So It's the opposite actually. When you're outside and you go in, everywhere is like has like AC blasting, so you actually get cold inside. Like sometimes I'm like, I need freaking like I've actually caught a cold going from hot AC to warm and stuff. And like I went to the doctor and they were like, yeah, that happens. It's pretty crazy. But I always rather take layers off than put them on. So that's a good thing. All right. So next story. I like how Fox News has stories and stuff, like really good stories sometimes. But every time I load their page, they like play this music, like this automatic music, and it's just like it's so annoying. Like, stop it. They need to fix that with their site. Teen uses college savings to help pay mom's rent. What a good kid. What a good kid. Justin says getting a cold inside sounds kind of sad. Yeah, it's so annoying. Oh wells. Phoenix Animation says, hi Nina, how's it going? It's going well, thank you. I'm so happy that you're here. We're just talking about good news and uplifting news and sharing positivity. So please smash that like and share the stream. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. So teen uses college savings to help pay mom's rent. There's a stupid thing that always starts. Okay. A Texas high school senior emptied her college savings account to pay for her mother's rent in order to keep the family from being evicted from their home. Just weeks earlier, Alonda Carmona, a senior at Yes Prep East End in Houston, had been accepted to her dream school, Barnard College. The teen grew up in a single-parent household where her mom worked every day to pay rent, according to the GoFundMe page she created. Last year, her mom injured her ankle, making it even harder for her to work. When the pandemic struck, it only added to the financial problems we already had, Carmona said. What she didn't realize was that her mom had been out of work for the past 3 months, and the family was facing the possibility of eviction in March. She owes 2 months of rent and will most likely get evicted in March, she wrote. All of my college savings will go to paying the rent that we are behind on. The teen said that she had turned to the online fundraising program as last resort since the school was reportedly not able to change her financial package. Within days, she well surpassed her initial goal of $75,000. As of Thursday, the donations topped $145,000. That's amazing. College is really hard without worrying about mom's rent on top. All the best to you with your studies, one donor commented. The teen added that she is tremendously grateful for the grant that Barnard did offer her, as well as the generosity of the donors on GoFundMe. Jennifer Fondiller, Barnard's college's vice president for enrollment and communications, told Fox News that the school is honored and excited to welcome Carmona next year. Alondra's dedication to her families, not to mention her community's support of her, are ideals perfectly aligned. The tight-knit Barnard community, Fondler said. While the school can't comment on the financial situations on specific students, Fondler said it is always working with Carmona and all of our students to make Barnard affordable to those with need through generous financial aid programs. Well, that's nice. But that's really nice of the people who donated to her and, helped her out. That's what human kindness is all about. Good for her. Okay. We got a couple more stories here. Every time this Fox News site loads, I have to stop the audio for this. So annoying. Okay. So this one is Let me just check with the chat real quick. Okay. Yes. Good for her. I hope she does well in college. I agree. Okay. So Texas dog lost before 2017's Hurricane Harvey reunited with family. That's cool, right? A Texas family whose dog went missing just days before Hurricane Harvey hit in 2017 has been reunited with their pet more than 3 years later. The family had been moving from one suburban Houston area to another, and their dog Maddie was lost in the process, according to the Forgotten Pet Advocates, a Houston area nonprofit that helps rescue pets. The family searched and searched. They never gave up, the group wrote in a Facebook post. Oh, there he is. His family. He's been united with the family. So cute. Maddie was microchipped, but the family didn't know how to update the information after their move, according to the Forgotten Pet Advocates. On Friday, a volunteer with the Forgotten Pet Advocates found Maddie wandering alone on the streets of Houston. She picked up the dog, but with the out-of-date chip information, could not track down the family. However, another Facebook page, Lost Dogs of Texas, has a program to help trace pet owners through difficult or dead-end microchips. Within 24 hours, they had found the family and their new home, and Maddie was reunited with them. The group shared photos on Facebook page of the happy reunion with the 16-year-old dog and her family. They never replaced Maddie, so she will always be loved and spoiled for the rest of her days with the family, the Forgotten Pet Advocates wrote. There were lots of tears flowing at the reunion and happy tears. Oh, isn't that so sweet? I love that story. So cute. Excuse me for a second while I hydrate. Yeah, he looked a little sad because he's old, 16 years old. So that's a really old dog. Poor doggy. But he was reunited with the family, which was nice. Okay, so that one is done. Okay, I got 2 more stories, and then we're going to look at some animal videos because that's always fun. Okay, so all right. Boy, a lot of reading today. Okay, here we go. Okay. Florida crossing guard hailed as a hero after saving 7-year-old from getting struck by a car. The crossing guard in Florida has been hailed as a hero after she saved a 7-year-old girl from getting hit by a reckless driver. Crossing guard supervisor Kathleen Quinn was patrolling an intersection at the Calbreth Road and Nature's Way Boulevard in Valrico on Wednesday when a car swept through the area, ignoring her commands to stop. There's a video of this. Let's watch this.
I saw it coming and I put my arm out to make sure Madeline didn't get hit by the car. The car just kept going, and luckily no one was hurt.
She, goes towards the car with her stop sign and then goes back for Madeline. Like, I don't know. As a mother, I was like really so thankful for her.
There's that car and just like ran through the little girl.
You cannot rewind something like that. Like, if something happens, I always say that to my son also, like, you can't take that back. Like, when you're driving, almost like it's a weapon. You have to.
Accidents only happen once. Here it is again. The woman saving the little girl. Car goes. Little kid's not looking.
I saw it
Lady,
coming
stop
and I
her.
put my arm out to make sure Madeline didn't get hit by.
Wow, she is a hero. Good for her. Good for her. So that was a short story that I wanted to share with you guys. Lady, crosswalking lady saved a life. Shellback, hello. Thank you for being here. I tune into Nina Chuggin. Literally was talking for like how long has it been? An hour and 25 minutes before I had to drink some water. I was like, I need some water. Yeah. Yes, the real MVP, 100%. Yes. I mean, can you imagine being that mom? I would be freaking out. That was a really cool story because that lady is a hero. Okay, I got this other cool story, and this story is wild because I was like, what the hell? But you know what? Like, pets are important to us, right? Like dogs and cats, and our regular pets are really important to us. Well, in this story, the pet in this situation was a rooster, and I thought the story was really funny and cute. I just had to share it. Teen reunited with pet rooster, lost at Alabama Cracker Barrel after Civil War reenactment. There's the rooster, and there's all the dudes reenacting the Civil War. So this one, this one was funny. When a visiting rooster flew the coop, the people of Coleman stepped up to help reunite the owner with his feathered friend. It all started when 18-year-old Thomas Ramsey, a student at Copiah Academy in Gallman, where is this? And founder of the Muddy Rabbits Mess, a 32-member military reenactment group of the largest youth group nationally, was returning from a Civil War reenactment in Spring Hill, Tennessee, and stopped for lunch on January 31st at Cracker Barrel Common. With him was his friend Jonas Patrick and his buff Organton rooster, Peep. Peep is a handsome fellow. In keeping with the standards of his heritage breed of chicken, heavy with broad body and low stance, and having a bold, upright, and graceful carriage, he's been I don't know if I want to say this. He's been the rooster of the walk ever since Ramsey found him on the roadside last summer when he was still a young chick. Ramsey has been participating in reenactment since he was 14. It's a way, he said, to really connect with history as they reenact wars from the late colonial time up to World War II. Most of the reenactments he participates in, though, are from the Civil War. It's part of history that needs to be represented, and we represent it as accurately as we can, he said. He's been around the country from Pennsylvania to West Texas, participating in 16 to 20 reenactments each year. He'll spend 3 hours a day for 6 to 7 months researching for an event when he's been part of an organized event. The research kicks up to 6 or 7 hours a day over multiple months for one event, he said. I had all my men spend a minimum of 10 months prepping with accents and everything. That's dedication. The experience, he said, humanizes history. He said he's not focused on being on any particular side of history, but on representing the people and times accurately. I don't like to think of it in terms of who was right. I like to think of it as individuals going to war for whatever reason, he said. In his research, he said there have been numerous accounts of soldiers going to war with animals, including camels, And yup, roosters. You'll read journals of people carrying not just fighting roosters, but other support animals, he said. In one undisputed account, said Ramsey, the Confederate soldiers carried his rooster with him for 2 years. That particular rooster's tale did not end well, though, as he ended up in the bellies of some Union soldiers. So when Peep entered into Ramsey's life, it didn't seem unheard of to take the young bird with him into battle. We were at the house getting ready for an event, and we're sitting there playing with him, and we're like, let's take him with us, he said. At first event, one of Ramsey's friends was carrying Peep in a bag by his side, but when the friend got hit, Peep hopped out and just strolled about. There's about 10 cannons just blasting and all the rifle fire, and he's not going crazy. He's pretty chill, said Ramsey. Peep is, said the teen, a real soldier. The Spring Hill event was the third Peep had been part of, and they were headed home when they stopped in Coleman. The young man took the rooster out from the cab of the truck, attached him to his leash, and walked him around until their order was called. While they went to eat, they tied the rooster's leash to the bed of the truck, as they had done several times before. But an hour later, Ramsey's friend went outside and came back with bad news. He said, "He's gone, man," said Ramsey. "At first I thought he was joking. He messes with me like that." It wasn't a joke, though. Peep had flown the coop. I went back into the Cracker Barrel, and it was very hard for me to say this with a straight face, even though I was panicking. "Do you have cameras in the parking lot? I think someone stole my chicken," he said. Someone overheard and said they'd seen Peep wandering in the parking lot. He called the police, and Coleman Animal Control Officer Cooper Harris responded to the call. Harris had been an animal control officer for about 5 months, and this was only his second call regarding a chicken, and the first that involved one that had gone missing. "I'd say it's very, very, very rare," said Harris. Ramsey was impressed by Harris's dedication to finding Peep. "He spent an hour and a half riding around looking for him," said Ramsey. Harris even checked with a nearby farmer to see if he'd picked up a roaming rooster, and with the farmer's permission, checked the coop to see if Peep, following the birds of the feather flock together adage, had wandered there on his own, but there was no sign of him. By the time Ramsey had posted the missing chicken post and photos of several common Facebook pages, every 5 minutes there was someone responding that they were looking for him, said Ramsey. Ramsey continued on to his home in Mississippi, hopeful that someone would find his feathered friend. 30 minutes away from his home, he received the news that Jeremy Cox had found Peep. Wherever the rooster wandered to, or whatever roads he may have crossed, he'd found his way back to the Cracker Barrel parking lot when Cox found him. His adventures continued from there. He changed hands like 3 times that day, said Ramsey. But it was John Watson, a local farmer who'd been posting advice in finding and catching Peep, who drove the rooster to Birmingham, where the teen and bird were reunited. Watson said he stepped up to help because it's important to him to spread love for a fellow man or woman. "I believe in paying it forward," said Watson. "God has blessed my family so much throughout the years. I believe we should be kind to our fellow man. Yes, it was just a chicken, but it was his, and he clearly cared for it." I love that line. Ramsey agreed that Peep is special. "Most of the time, I would not drive 4 hours for just any chicken," said Ramsey. "He's interesting." Orpington are known for docile, friendly, and affectionate birds. Ramsey isn't entirely sure that's true. I don't know if it's affection or him just knowing how to manipulate the system, he said. But Ramsey felt like Pete was happy to be back with them. He stood up and kind of jumped when I got him, he said. There's no doubt about Ramsey's affection for Common. I was really impressed. I love y'all's town, he said. I can't think of many places where there are that many people willing to take time to help out like that. To continue following the adventures of Peep, you can check out his Instagram page at Peep the Town. What an interesting story, and the things people go through for their pets. Only his second call involving a chicken. Yeah, because he's in Alabama, he's in farmland, so this makes sense. Kai also says, I had chickens growing up. We used to have to catch them to clip their wings. Ended up being really great for improving my footwork and soccer and martial arts. Yeah, because they're fidgety little effers. They just run around, and they're really interesting. They're really interesting animal. I love the movie Chicken Run. It's one of my favorite movies. If you guys haven't ever checked, if you guys have never watched it, you should check it out. I really love that movie. Shellback says, have you hugged your chicken lately? Okay. Yeah, Zero One is like, what even is this story? I know, it's when I read it, I was like, what is this? But it was a true story. This guy really loved his chicken, and looked around for it. He's just yeah, I know, Shellback, but I didn't want to get clipped saying that. Yeah, it's probably Missouri. Yeah. Oh my God. Anyways, I thought that was a really interesting story. That's all for the good news stories I got for you guys today. But as always, we can end the show on several really interesting little things that I've bookmarked, little animal videos. I got all sorts. Let's see here. Aw, Shellback is from Missouri. Well, that's good. Where is it? My bookmarks. Okay, here we go. So we got this little pig, and he's swimming like a shark. It's kind of gross. I would never want to swim in that pool. I mean, it's cute, but it's like, can you imagine swimming in that pool after this pig? Like that's kind of gross. So there we go. There was that one. Oh, I don't know why I stopped sharing. Stop Brad says, Nina, awesome, happy stories. Thank you, honey. You're welcome. Stick around if you want to watch funny animal videos. Yes, they would. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so we saw that one. Okay, this one was funny because I'm a cat person, but my cat is a good cat. My cat does not do this, and my cat's not allowed in my bedroom. This is one of the reasons she's not allowed in my bedroom, because I know cats can go really crazy, but these people have no control over their cat. Cats need guidance, just like dogs, and they do behave themselves if you train them. But this cat is next level. What a bad cat. He's a clean pig. It's okay. What a bad cat. Take care, Ron. Thank you for being here. So there was that crazy cat. Jeez, cats. Okay, and then there was this really cute dog. I know, right? That cat was out of control. Like, wow. Yeah, that cat is a menace for sure. Like, dude, my cat would never do that. My cat's like the sweetest, calmest, just the kindest little kitty cat. This was so sweet. Look at this doggy. Look at, oh, the guy picks up his kid and he's like, I want up too. Come on. What about me? Oh, look at, he's a baby. He just wants to be picked up, except he's a giant, massive baby. Giant, massive, furry baby. He just wanted to be loved and picked up. He got jealous. Oh, look at him. So cute. He's like, what about me? Come on, man. Oh, such a baby. I love him. Studies show that watching a beaver eat cabbage lowers stress by 17%. Well, this we have to watch for a bit. I mean, this is... Why is this so cute? Why do I find this so entertaining? Why is this so entertaining? Can someone explain this to me? Zero everyone's like, actually, that baby's staring at the dog like, the heck? Yeah, that was funny. Kid's like, get the fuck out of here. I know, border collies are so cool. I mean, doggies are just really cool in general. This freaking beaver. Yes, we're all watching a beaver. Oh, a beaver munching. Oh no. It's terrible and funny at the same time. Oh God. Oh God. This is so funny. I just had to share that. Here's some other cats. This is funny. It says there are two types of cats. I love cats so much. They're so weird. Like, what are you doing? Oh, yes. I just love cats. They're my favorite. Like this cat here. I mean, this cat was next level. I mean, just watch this cat's expression. It's like, the fuck are you doing? It's trying to find a comfortable place to sit. Just sits on this cat's head. This other cat's like, what the fuck, man? I'm just gonna put my ass right on your face. He's just like, what the hell's going on? Here I am. Plump. I'm just gonna plump right here. Ah, that's funny. That's funny. Okay. This was cool. This was really cool. This dude says, can't stop watching, must buy panda and cleaning guy. This is funny though. I just love all animals. Animals bring so much joy to this world. Like this. This is freaking adorable. Being a parent is hard. I mean, that is so true. Just oh my God, look at him. I've seen this happen to humans. Like when your kids like just climbing on you and you just let it happen at one point. You're just like, I don't even care anymore. Just whatever. Just let it happen. You just give into it. Oh, it's just so funny. Oh, I've seen humans do this for sure. You're just like, yeah. All right, kid. All right. I'm just going to give into this now. Hey, Sam. Hey, Nick. The twins are both here, you guys. Hey. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys. The Aussie twins. Oh, my God. What a gong show with this puppy. Is that it? Is that all I got? Oh, no, I got one more cat video. Okay. This was cute. Here we go. Just because cats are freaking awesome. Hey, Drew. How cute is that cat? He's like a ninja cat. He's like, "Meow." I'm gonna get you. Oh, it's so funny. The other cat didn't even see it coming. Oh, it's funny. I think that's it. Yep, that's it for this week's animal videos. Let's watch the panda one more time just because, I'm Persian. Persians hold a grudge. So I know all about that. This was too relaxing. Like, we got to watch this beaver again. This was amazing. Isn't this so funny? Look at it. He's just eating. Guys, do check out definitely earlier in the stream we talked about this one dude, and he has a YouTube channel and he plays music for elephants. He's really cool. It was just a magnificent story, and I highly recommend you guys watch that. You know what? Why not? Like, I'll play one more of his videos just because this guy's like so freaking cool on so many levels. He's just like he's like the elephant whisperer. I mean, it's just one of those things where you're just like, how is this guy like doing this? Like, this is way too cool. Like, and it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. Let's see, this one I didn't watch earlier. So let's watch this one. Let me stop this beaver. God, that beaver was so funny. Here we go. This is a 21-minute video. I mean, we're not going to watch the whole thing, but.
Fired barbecue. We only use twigs and fallen branches to fuel the stove.
Okay, wait.
And it's during these times he can be very dangerous.
Okay, this is when he's like
Elephants are free
explaining
to walk
stuff.
away, knock over the piano, alternately stay and listen, but of their own accord. They are completely free. When Chaichna arrived at Elephant's World, the Mahouts were cautious of him as his temperament was unknown and he was considered very dangerous, as almost all male elephants are.
I love how calm calm he gets right away.
I've got to know 4 bull elephants in the past 10 years. For some reason, these dangerous elephants all seem to like calm piano music and as a result often show the gentler side of their character in the moment. That said, I'm also aware they could suddenly kill me at any moment should they choose to. Chaichana can be restless at times, especially when he's going into must, and it's during these times he can be very dangerous, yet it seems these are the times he responds to calm piano music most of all.
That is so cool.
Sometimes he will lay down by the piano of his own accord and listen. Of the
That's
4
so
bull elephants
sweet.
I've played for, the music of Beethoven seems to be the shared favourite.
I mean, it's just so funny. It's like I feel like most people nowadays don't really listen to classical music anymore. And classical music is like this really healing type of music. And I feel like everybody on Twitter needs to start listening to classical music. Everybody needs to chill out. It's just like maybe if you took like 5 minutes a day and listened to classical music at the beginning of your day, like in the morning or something like that, maybe it'll calm you down. So you're not like so stressed out and just want to all the time, because that's how everybody feels nowadays. Everybody just feels like so trapped and I feel like it's just weird because music has changed so much, like nowadays, like everyone's just like getting this electronic, like auto-tune music and everything like that. And yeah, like classical music is timeless. And like, no matter what kind of like species you are, you respond to it. Even plants respond to classical music. They grow better. And different types of classical music, like they respond to it. And it's just like, it's one of those things where it hits notes in your brain and on a different level that you're not even aware of subconsciously. So, I mean, the fact that this guy is just like going around and like playing classical piano to elephants and they're responding and he's communicating with them, it's like one of the most incredible things that you could achieve as a human being, is to communicate like that with someone. And I mean, it's just beautiful. I love classical music so much. It's just so lovely. Sam says, I find classical music real soothing, gets my imagination going too, which is great for a writer. Yeah, same with me. I love drawing to classical music. It really gets you going subconsciously. Like it brings up your creative flow. It lets you be, more mindful, more connected to yourself and your creativity. And it's just beautiful. It's just one of those beautiful things that we take for granted. And I feel like most young kids these days don't really listen to classical music. The only time I've seen actually kids, like young kids today, listen to classical music is when it gets remixed into other new music, which it's fine on its own, but playing actual classical music on its own is also just one of the best things that you could do for yourself. I feel like everybody should take that time and just, once in a while, grab a glass of wine and just chill out and listen to some classical music. Supreme Heretic says, I listen to my BSG soundtracks. That's nice. That's nice. I guess whatever you enjoy, that's great. Sam says, Debussy's Arabesque #1 is one of my favorite. Oh, that's nice. I like a lot of Bach. I think my favorite of all time is Swan Lake. And it's just Tchaikovsky. I really respond to Tchaikovsky a lot. So I'm a Tchaikovsky girl for sure. But I also really like Chopin's Nocturnal. I really like Chopin. I think he's amazing. I like Bach. I like all of them. I mean, they're just so beautiful. It's beautiful sounds. It's just great. Showback says, I was introduced to classical music from Bugs Bunny and Looney Tunes. Well, that's wonderful. I mean, that's what cartoons and stuff are supposed to do, is teach you about things. So But yeah, everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. That is, this is the end of the show. Stieg, I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for being here. I've been going about 2 hours now, and I'm just gonna, just end the show on this high and beautiful note, and have all of you guys here with me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Even after the stream is over, please leave a like, smash that like. Leave a comment, because comments are so important now. The YouTube algorithm really responds to comments. So comment, even if just to say, this is your favorite classic music, or like name your favorite color or whatever. I really appreciate it. Please smash that like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Again, thank you so much. We'll be back next week for more Infinite Hope. So hang in there. I'll see you again next Friday on this channel. Thank you guys so much. Have a great weekend and week, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.